next week is packed. The US is holding an incredibly closely run presidential election. The Greek parliament is holding a key vote on the country's bailout terms. China starts reshuffling its government, and both the Bank of England and the European Central Bank are holding meetings. Lost, confused? Well, Andrea Trifanidis and Sarah Sholin are here with me to try and unravel all of this. Sarah, first of all, the US elections. I mean, neck and neck. I mean, I gather the latest poll shows Obama might be 0.1% ahead.
Yeah, and then half an hour ago was actually the opposite. So they're it's really close to a tie, and it all comes down to the swing states. And from what I hear, Ohio is one of the key states right now, and in the employment numbers could really be one of the key things to look at here.
And of course, those aren't out yet. But of course, the key thing also, not only the result, but what they're going to do with the fiscal cliff and how that's going to impact on the
And that's
US
definitely
economy.
something markets are worried about right now. What's going to happen if Obama wins? What's going to happen if Romney wins? The key thing is that if we get a Congress that's bipartisan, they really have to get together and figure out how they're going to solve this problem. And there are going to be so many obstacles in this. Are they going to raise taxes? Are they going to cut spending? Are they just going to postpone it for another few months, like kick the can down the road?
But bottom line, I gather, Sarah, at the moment is that some people are suggesting that a Romney victory would actually be more positive for the dollar. But hey, let's move over to Europe. Greece.
Oh my goodness.
Once again, bubbling away with problems here, political problems. I gather there's a big vote next week.
There is a big vote next week, and it's all to do with the 31.5 billion aid tranche that is that Greece desperately needs. There's labour reform that Greece have to vote upon. We've got the Troika that's putting the finishing touches to its report as well, following several meetings in Greece, and this is all ahead of the November 12th meeting of Euro finance ministers. Now, after November 12th, coffers run dry in Greece.
So exactly. So in the meantime, getting worried about Greece, and in the meantime, still no news on Spain.
Still no news, and markets are not liking this. Greece has fallen for 6 consecutive sessions. It fell by 5% yesterday.
Okay, China, we've also got, they're starting to reshuffle. This is the big mega reshuffle of the Chinese leaders that we've all been expecting.
Yeah, next week, and it looks like the vice president and the vice premier will just take the presidency. And
the key thing here, I assume, Sarah, is whether or not this new regime will actually continue the policies that we've seen. We are starting to see the Chinese economy perhaps bounce back. We've seen that data this week, more data next week.
Yeah.
I guess people will be looking to see if that continues.
Really what's important for these leaders is to stabilize the economy in this downturn. And as you're saying, we're definitely seeing some numbers.
And for markets, fiscal cliff in the US and China, this is so important.
Just to catch up for everybody else, next week CPI, PPI, industrial production and retail sales out of China. Moving along here. I know it's just a deluge.
Keep on going.
Bank of England and the European Central Bank. Anything expected out of them?
Nothing really expected. We could see the Bank of England increase the asset purchase program with 50 billion.
And Andrea, I'm going to come to you now. Corporate results.
We'll squeeze those in. So we have BMW, we have Marks and Spencer. We also have Munich Re and Hanover Re.
Let's look at BMW and M&S first.
Okay.
Good, bad, positive?
Marks and Spencer, I think, is going to be quite good, but the issue is that we're looking at their strategy programme. There's a £500 million programme and lots of refits, so I think we need guidance from that. But I think they're going to be okay.
It's not necessarily going to be a lead on the UK economy.
Improvement in the second quarter might be evident, and consumers are apparently getting a little bit more confident in the UK.
BMW, we're always looking at cars.
Yeah, I think pricing, particularly in China, is going to be very, very important. We're looking at an okay results. EBIT should be at the top line of guidance, we suspect.
Okay, finally, Hanover Re and Munich Re are coming out next week.
Yeah.
Now, really, we're not that excited about reinsurance companies.
I failed to get excited about these guys, I'm afraid.
Okay, we've just gone through Hurricane Sandy. Are they likely to, in any way, comment on the costs, the insurance problems that hurricane has imposed?
I think it would be unusual if they didn't say something. Now, we're looking at costs, well, there are so many estimates, aren't they, of $5 billion to about $15 billion as in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. I don't think it's unmanageable, though, by the reinsurers, and I think perhaps they're going to reiterate that fact, but we still need to get a lot of the figures.
And as I said, we could finally get some of the initial response from these companies to the hurricane.
Absolutely.
Sarah, Andrea, thank you very much indeed. It's very kind.
Thank you.